Welcome to this Goldilocks Productions presentation. Before we begin the show, let's go over quick guidelines. Callers, if you would like to host a question, please press 1. All those callers that do not press 1 and any blocked phone numbers, unlisted phone numbers, and Skype callers whose phone numbers do not show up on the switchboard, you will be in listen mode only. It is not mandatory that the show hosts bring on callers. So please keep your questions to one question only and be mindful and respectful of the other callers that are calling in and of the show host as well. If you have any issues or any problems, and even any compliments or testimonials, please contact the Goldilocks Productions show producer and owner at the email of goldilocksproductions@hotmail.com. Again, that email is Goldilocks with a Y, goldilocksproductions@hotmail.com. Thank you. Now on with the show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldilocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Well, good evening, everyone. So nice of you to join us here in the Psychic Flow. I'm your host, Carolan, and I am delighted to have some wonderful guests on our show. And tonight we have a lovely woman that I'm going to introduce her to you in a few moments. She is a psychic medium and pet finder and a few other things as well. Very exciting show. We have people starting to queue up, so I hope you followed the instructions. Remember to, if you're on the URL or Facebook, the number is 713-955-0594, and press 1 so that you can be heard. We have some lovely guests coming up in October. I just wanted to give you a little bright spot here about that. We have October 3rd, psychic Joanne Leo, who will be on the show. She's been on previously. She's a great gal, a lot of fun. She's a blockbuster reader. October 10th, we have Adita Felt at aditafelt.com. She is a paranormal expert, psychic medium, and all-around incredibly talented woman and an author as well. She has a new book she's just released, so we're going to talk about that. October 17th, I believe it's going to be me, unless we have another surprise guest like we did last week. That was very successful. And that was Kelly Jo Psychic, Kelly Jo Monahan. She will be back with us October 24th. She's a dynamite individual, a lot of fun. And so they will be on. And maybe Halloween will have something special. We'll see about that. So without wasting any more time, I just wanted to let you know what was coming up. We have this beautiful guest, Medium Mari, and M-A-R-I, and her last name is Cartagenova. I think I said that correctly. And if I didn't, I hope she will correct me. Mari has a background in social work and as a psychotherapist. She was very content helping people navigate their inner selves and deal with their personal issues. Eventually, though, the time came when Mari realized she could no longer keep avoiding what Spirit was telling her. They were very persistent. So at that point, she decided to commit full-time to spirit work and has never turned back. She is trained to work with many of the top mediums from all over the world, including Lisa Williams, Tony Stockwell, Lauren Rainbow, John Holland, James Von Prague, and Janet Nahovac. So those are some of the top workers in this field, and she has trained and worked with them. Mari, are you there? I'd love to bring you on the show.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm so glad that you're there. I knew you were waiting, and I was afraid that we maybe lost you for a second. It's wonderful to have you. Welcome to In the Psychic Flow. I've been reading about all of the things that you've done. You're certified, tested, and vetted by a spiritual worker, And you've been on, Worcester Magazine, Boston Voyager, TV show The Medium Next Door, Nashoba Valley Living, I hope I said that right, and Bridge Between Two Worlds Radio, and Pet Masters Approved. You've also worked with June Elaine Evans on her pet finding mission, and I interviewed you both one time when this show first started. So welcome back. It's great to have you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be back. I appreciate it. Just very excited to be back with you guys and do some readings, and very grateful that you asked me to come back.
We enjoy having you. And what's coming up next for you? You have some events coming up. Some of them just passed. What do you have coming up next?
It's been extremely, extremely busy. I did a couple of fairs that just passed, a couple of animal fairs. What's coming up, though, next week is I have a demonstration with the lovely Catherine Glass in West Concord at the Healing Essence Center. So anybody that's in Massachusetts or southern New Hampshire could certainly get there. It's on October 3rd at 7 p.m. I do believe there's a couple of tickets left, but I know that we always sell out because all of my other events I've done with her have always been sold out before, because they do offer tickets at the door, but I don't know if there will be any this time. So if you're interested in catching me and Catherine Glass October 3rd doing a mediumship demonstration, then go on the Healing Essence Center website and you can purchase tickets directly there. So I have that coming up. And then I also have October 24th, I'm doing another gallery, this time in Westford at Tranquility Wellness Center, and I'm doing that one with the amazing Leslie Hoffman, who is an angel communicator, intuitive, and also an animal communicator, and she's very cool. So, and those tickets are for sale on my website, mediummari.com, if you would like to check those out, and I'm always adding more events all the time, but that's what I have coming up in October.
That's beautiful. And your website, again, is mediummari.com if you'd like to reach out to Mari. You do a lot of interesting work. You're not just a psychic medium, but you do a lot of pet finding and pet readings and mediumship, groups, demonstration, animal communication, lost or missing pets, intuitive psychic guidance, past life or soul reading, tarot cards. And animal communication, I always love this part. I am able to connect with your furry friends who are here or on the other side. And your specialty is lost or missing pets. Fabulous. So we're really dynamite. It's going to be a dynamite evening. And I did Facebook you a couple of pictures. I don't know if you got them right before the show. And I don't know if you got anybody else's, but we'll see. You might get some during the show. Who knows?
Yeah, I did. I got a couple of, are they your pets? The Marley and Briddy? Yeah.
Briddy, who's intent on destroying the living room as we speak. She's a little blind and senile. She's entering her 18th year, so she's kind of a little suffering from a little dementia. So if you hear things crashing, that's her. She's moving around the living room.
Okay, all right. She's feisty. She's feisty in her age.
Yes, she is.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's a little, what do they call terrorists? Terrorist. I call her a terrorist. She's a
little terrorist.
She's a Karen Terrier. And the other guy is American Bulldog. So he's a big moose, and he's just behaving himself, but the other one, not so much. So whenever you want to, no matter where I pull her from, she goes right back to it. So she thinks she's going somewhere. I think she has a date or something. She likes this corner. So I'll just grab her. Come on over here. Now, somebody wants to do a reading on you. Can you behave yourself? Okay, there you go. All right. So thank you, listeners, for putting up with that. Mari, what kind of people contact you for? Because you have such a great background, a master's in psychotherapy. Do people call you for a blend of mediumship and counseling?
Yeah, I would say they do. I mean, I'm not technically working as a therapist anymore, even though I do have my license, but, so I'm not like billing the insurance company or anything like that. But I think that the people that are attracted to me and that are interested in working with me usually have, would like some of the counseling side of things. So I think the way that I approach, everybody works differently and everybody likes to, work with different types of people, but sort of the way that I approach the mediumship and the intuitive readings is sort of like counseling based. So, I try to be very gentle with everything and sort of talk everything through with everybody, as opposed to just like, I'm seeing this, and blah, 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 giving the evidence, which is important, of course. But I think there also needs to be, we're dealing with delicate, information in a lot of cases, and there's always a lot of, a lot of times there's, pain and missing people and loss, and so I think my background just really informs my work. And I think a lot of people that come to me knowing that I have that in my toolbox as well.
I think it's fabulous. Do you get people from all walks of life with varied problems? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. I feel grateful and blessed for the work that I do. Just this past week, I had somebody in Switzerland that wanted a soul reading, so I, do that as well. So I did a soul reading for her. I've had a couple missing animal cases. I've had, quote unquote, regular mediumship, just connecting with loved ones, sort of intuitive mediumship, just like, sort of connecting with life's problems and issues and that type of thing. And, of course, always the animal readings. But I definitely have clients from all over the globe. I'm currently working on a missing animal case in Peru, in Lima. I know, it's pretty amazing. And,
that's
of course,
not that
clearly,
one black and white dog, is it? Is it that white dog with the... I know there was one missing, and I don't know if it was in Peru.
Well, there's always a lot of missing animals,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of missing animals. But this particular person, I'm sure they've probably put their information out there, but I was able to Lima is a large city, so, obviously the animal could be everywhere, but I was able to narrow down the certain area that the animal is in, and they've gone to search, and they have had many sightings of the dog there. So we're feeling very hopeful that they're able to find him. Clearly I'm not there, so it's a little frustrating because, I can only tell you what they're giving me, and then, it's a moving target. Just because, like, the animal is telling me this now, like tomorrow, they're probably not hanging around the same space. So, but
and how do you work with locals there? Is anyone helping you over there on the ground, or is the family there, or?
Oh, yeah. The person that contacted me, I think knew about me from the community, and she was over there searching for the dog, and the owners of the dog actually don't speak English, so she had to translate everything to them, and they are actively looking for the dog, I think, every day.
Wow.
So, but it's, it was very validating and felt really good, even though we don't have the dog yet. We've had many sightings. We've narrowed down the area of this huge city, so we know the area that he's in, and, we're hoping every day that they're able to catch him. But there's, as you probably may have guessed, there's a lot of stray animals over there, and so there are a lot of sort of like loose missing animals all over the place. Right. From what I've been told. So they are, sort of trying to find him amidst all these other animals. But I feel confident that they're going to find him. So.
And how do you get your, if you don't mind me asking, how do you get your information about the animals that are missing? It's particularly someplace in Peru. Is this like a remote view feeling, or, how do you go about that?
Well, it's really interesting, and people ask me that all the time, and, I feel like I'm a pretty, quote-unquote, normal person. So, a lot of people would say, and I believe that I get the messages from spirit, but I don't have any, quantifiable, scientific, I live with a bunch of scientists, so, they're like, well, how can you prove to me that that's where you get your messages? I really don't know. I can't unequivocally say, yes, I'm getting it from X, Y, and Z. I feel like it's from the universal energy, from spirit, God, whatever you would like to call it. But I don't have any proof. I mean, the way that I work, though, is I just sort of tune in. I get to that sort of relaxed place where I'm out of my conscious mind a little bit and sort of just sort of being in my energy centers and my body space. And then I just sort of allow spirit or wherever the messages are coming from to sort of drop in. And then I just relay all that information. And a lot of it just really has to do with trust, because you have to, I mean, if every single time I got a message, if I was like, oh, I don't know, am I making it up? Is that real? Like that would just destroy all the work. So it's really just a matter of putting that conscious mind and the critical ego-based mind to the side and saying, okay, no, I'm going to trust what they're giving me and just sort of allow everything to flow. And, so far so good. So.
You have a lot of success stories on your website, mediummaury.com, of your home again pets that you have found. Very interesting. I think the last time I spoke to you, we were discussing the Ireland case, Eddie, who was found in Ireland in September 2017. That was an amazing. You were 4,000 miles away from where the dog was lost, and throughout 5 days, Eddie gave you many signs, and she was found, and that is just amazing. So the stories are on there. They're incredible, and I encourage our listeners to check that out. Very, very interesting. We do have a few people queued up if you feel like taking some calls or if you feel like looking at some pet pictures. How do you feel about that? What would you like to do? You're the guest.
We can definitely do some readings. I was just sort of scrolling through, I only have I only have yours on my Facebook, so I'm not sure if somebody sent them to another place or.
Oh, okay. I don't know
so
if they're aware, but they're going to be aware now.
Yeah.
If during the show our listeners feel like Facebook messaging Mari, you can do that. I put her information up on Facebook on my page. And what else do they need to know? It is Mari Cartagenova, Cartagenova. So you could Facebook a picture of your pet if you'd like. And so we can do whatever comes in here. We do have a few callers whenever you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I could just do, intuitive readings, or if people want to see if somebody comes through. I mean, the way that I like to describe it is, when we're on the radio, obviously the time is brief, and it's more like a greeting and less of a reading. So it's not a full reading. It's more like a greeting from spirit. And so, I'm happy to connect with your callers and see if I can help them for sure.
Okay. Well, we have a couple callers queued up. And let's see. Our first caller is area code 212. Are you there, please?
Yes, hello. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Hello, my name is Mary, and I'm calling from New York, and I'm just wondering about next steps in my career. So I'm just wrapping up my current job, and I'm just wondering if you see anything on the horizon that's better than my current place of employment.
Let's see what Mari has on that.
All right. Well, what I always tell people is for these type of intuitive readings, I always like to pull up a few cards. I don't obviously go by exactly what the card is saying. It's really more something for my conscious mind kind of to chew on while I'm sort of connecting with the person. But as I connect to you, Mary, the first thing they're talking to me about is school. Are you thinking about going back to school, or thinking about getting, it's not so much like college, but almost like getting re-schooled, like learning a new skill, learning a new trade? That's what they're talking to me about.
Well, you know what? I was just on my iPad looking at coding. I've never done that before, and I've also thought about taking a course on marketing just to refresh my skills and also learn something new.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what, when I first connect to you, that's what they're really talking to me about. And it really feels like that's something that would be really, not mandatory, but it feels like almost necessary, because I feel like where you are now, you're kind of stuck in a rut, like they're almost showing you like in a hole, sort of having difficulty getting out of it. I just feel like where you are right now has not really been fruitful for you, and is really not, and soul-wise also, it feels very almost empty for you. And I feel like that you would be better in a place where you're really able to contribute, and I'm not sure if you're in your current position, you've really been able to do that. It feels like that you are really yearning to kind of make a difference and to like be a valuable part of the team and to be honored in that way, and I'm not really feeling like it's been that way for you. So I definitely, the coding thing sounds awesome. I mean, I know, like I said, I live with a bunch of scientists, so I know that's a very hot field now. And I feel like you would be able to get a really good job with that type of thing. So I feel like you moving towards that, computer science type of direction would be really, really good for you. And the cards I pulled, like I said, I just sort of do that as an aside to get me started. But it really feels like very much like starting over for you, but like in a good way, so that you can move forward. And a lot of what you're leaving behind, it almost feels like I feel like there's a lot of sadness connected with this past job, and I don't know if there were people there that you had relationships with, but I'm just feeling a lot of loss kind of connected to that, and it could also be loss of, what you thought it was going to be like, because it just doesn't feel like it turned out the way that you wanted it to, but I feel very much moving forward. It's almost like you have a better sense of yourself and what it is that you want. And you said you've been seeing these ads and getting retraining, that I think that would be really, really good for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. It makes sense. And I'm just wondering, though, should I take courses on the side as I work during the day? Because essentially, unfortunately, the job that I'm in is going to be discontinued, or the position that I'm in will be discontinued. And so come October 16th, I'm no longer going to be working.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering if you see anything coming up that will allow me to pay my bills, or will I need to rely on my savings for the time being as I take some courses and pick up some new skills and refresh some of my old skills.
Right. Well, I sort of see it like two different ways. I mean, obviously, and what I always tell everybody is I never tell my clients what to do, because, everybody has to make their own choices, but it could go either way. I mean, I see there is another job out there for you if you just needed like a job just to make some money, but it feels like it's much lower. It almost feels like it's a service type of industry job, almost like working with people, working in a store, something like that you could just make money, just to make money, just to pay your bills. But depending upon your finances, I definitely feel like going full bore with the courses and getting as much under your belt. I feel like through that, they're going to have some type of job placement, or you're going to meet somebody who's doing the same thing, and that you're going to be directed to a job in that field, in computer science, coding, like machine learning, that type of thing. And that's what I feel very much for you. But there certainly are jobs that you could get. I mean, again, they're showing me that they're much lower level than what you currently have and what you're used to. But if that would make you feel better, just sort of having that, money coming in, you could certainly do that while you're learning the new skills. But I definitely see the new skills taking you into a new field, and that you're going to be a lot more satisfied and just have a lot of more personal satisfaction while you're doing that. So it could go either way, I guess. It just depends on what you want to do.
Well, that's a great reading, Mary. Thank you so much for calling in, and Maury for giving her that advice. That's
great.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Keep me posted, Mary. Feel free to check in with me. Let me know how it's going.
Okay. Thanks so much, Maury.
Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you, Mary. You take care.
You as well.
Our next caller is, let's see, area code 863. Are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hey, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You have a question for Maury?
Yes, please. My name is Julia, also from Florida, and I would like to ask about love. I'd like to connect with, that really special someone to, have maybe a long-term committed relationship.
Sure. And, I definitely get this question a lot because, having people in your life, of course, is a nice thing to have. So it's definitely something that's always on everybody's mind. And your name is Julia, you said, dear?
Yes, Julia.
Julia, such a pretty name.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you. When I sort of connect to you and about all this energy about relationships, I feel in some way, I don't know if you've been putting yourself out there as much as you could. It almost feels like, I just sort of feel when I connect to you energetically, like you're a little held back. And I don't know if, and obviously I'm not saying like go to bars and that kind of stuff, because that's not something I would want to do either. But I'm almost feeling like getting involved in some type of activity that you like, that you're going to meet people that, someone with the same interest. Like if it was hiking or, doing crafty type of things. Or I'm just seeing, they usually have for adults, like different types of activities that you can do to meet people. And I feel very much that it almost feels like you've been sort of hanging back a little bit. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel, obviously, and, it's all nice to have somebody in our life, but it's like if you stay at home, then they're most likely probably not going to come to your door. So it's the type of thing that you need to put, just put a little bit of effort into. And I also feel that maybe you're kind of shy and that's hard for you, and that's why I feel like not so much the dating apps or all that kind of stuff, because that just feels like not a good fit for you, but almost like getting involved in like a community class that does gardening or, painting or something like that where you can have a similar interest with another person, because I do feel like there is somebody out there for you. It does feel like, they're talking to me about like in the next year, so I do see you with somebody, but I feel like from you there has to be some more, putting yourself out there more, which I realize is hard for you. But that's sort of the only way. No one's going to know how awesome you are if you stay home, right? So, and one of the cards that I pulled for you, which I think is important, is the solar plexus chakra card. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with all the chakras. They're basically just like energy centers in our body, and each one sort of represents a different thing. And the solar plexus is like your gut. It's basically like, sort of in your stomach area, and it's like trusting your gut piece. And I feel like that's really, there's only 7 of these cards on the whole deck, and if these cards come up, they're usually pretty important. So I would say that it's really important for you to trust your gut. I feel like that you've been in other relationships that haven't really worked out for you because you sort of maybe talked yourself into it or talked yourself out of it, because I can just sort of see you going in your head like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure about this, as opposed to really listening to that sort of small, still inner voice, which everybody has. So I would really encourage you to try to get in touch with that a little bit more so that you can make more discerning decisions. And I think that's something that would help you as well. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I feel like when I connect you, I feel like you're really lovely. Your energy is lovely. You're a beautiful woman. I just feel like, there's something very soft and gentle and loving. There's so much goodness I can feel from you, even from here. And you would be a wonderful partner for somebody. You're welcome. I feel it from you. And I don't, as anyone knows me, I don't just say things.
It really means a lot that you said that. Thank you so much.
No,
you don't
100%.
know how much that means to hear that. Wow.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Thank you.
I can feel it in my heart center that you're warm and loving and caring. You love animals. I just feel like you have so much to offer. So you just need to be a little brave and to put yourself out there so that people can see your light. Because I sort of feel like right now that you're kind of like holding yourself back. You're not really putting yourself out there, and then nobody can see it. So I would encourage you to take, a tiny step. Try to find a class that you like, or even a walking group, or anything that has, piques your interest, where you could meet people of similar interests, and see what happens. you know, and because I do feel like there is somebody out there. I feel like that you are going to make somebody else really, really happy. You know, I feel like somebody right now is waiting for you, and you just haven't connected yet. So, you know, don't give up the hope, and I'm encouraging you to just get out there and to, you know, shine your light a little bit and, you know, and keep me posted. Shoot me an email. Let me know what happens, because I feel like you are valuable, and, you know, and you just need to put that out there so people can see that.
Wow. Well, that was very beautiful. Thank you so much. You really touched my heart with that, so thank you.
Oh,
you gave me so much more than the question I asked. So thank you very much.
I'm so glad. Well, you're so sweet. So please feel free to message me or email me and let me know how it goes. But don't give up on yourself. You have so much to offer, and I just feel like you are just going to make somebody else so happy. Like they are waiting for you. So give yourself a little tiny push, and let me know how it goes.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in, Julia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julia.
Appreciate it, Carolan.
You're so welcome.
That is so
lovely.
We have a caller who's Laura Romero. She's got to press 1. She's in listen mode only. So let's see if Laura presses 1. She is waiting. Here she is. Let's see. They call in. They forget to press that.
No, I understand.
Yep.
Julia was so lovely. It was so nice to talk to you,
she
Julia,
is.
if you're still listening. Yeah.
Let's see if Laura's here. A couple of people. Done. Okay. Let's see if Tiffany, our producer, is able to get Laura on the line here, who's been waiting. Let's see. In the meantime, let me give her a minute.
Sure.
What's the difference between people and pet readings, if there is any?
Well, it's funny. I mean, a lot of mediums actually come to me for their pet readings, which I always think is kind of funny because I don't know why. There seems to be some little rumor going around the psychic world that it's hard to connect to pets. I mean, it's certainly hard to connect to your own pets for sure, but just in general that it's hard to connect to pets. And for some reason, I don't know why, when I very beginning started this work, I was like sort of thinking, oh, well, it's hard to connect to pets, so we can't do it. But then I was sort of asking myself, well, why? I mean, it's kind of the same because it's still energy. You're connecting with a soul. I mean, to me, the animals are no different than people. Like, to me, they're just like little people in furry bodies. So I was like, well, why? They are, you know, like I don't see I mean, obviously they take a different shape, but they're souls. They're souls like we are. So I didn't see why it would make a difference for me to connect to them. So I just sort of, the way I approach it is the same way that I approach connecting with people, just sort of opening my energy, being expansive, sort of allowing spirit, God, universal energy to drop images and pictures into my awareness. And so I do it the same way, basically. I mean, for the pets, I do like to use pictures just because if someone says, oh, you know, I want to connect with Fluffy, you know, Fluffy could be a small dog or it could be a boa constrictor. So, you know.
Yeah,
I kind of,
gotcha.
the picture helps me sort of figure out, you know, otherwise my human brain gets too much involved in trying to figure out what kind of animal it is, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Here we have Laura. Laura, are you there? 941 is the area code. She's waiting patiently to speak to Mari, so let's see what you get for her. Laura, are you there?
Hi. Good evening, ladies. How's it going?
It is
Hi,
going
Laura.
well. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you. Gosh, Mari, it's so nice to hear another fellow animal lover. You know, I love what you do. I absolutely love what you do, and
thank you.
My thought is always that animals are a lot smarter than people give them credit for, and they, you know, I love to try to connect with my animals, even the ones in the backyard. You know, they do tend to pay attention sometimes, and I just think there's a lot more going on than we give them credit for.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a question for
that.
Maury, Laura?
Well, you know, I know you said you like to look at pictures. Is there any messages you can pick up from any of my beloved pets, or any guidance in terms of communicating with them, healing them? I would love to hear that.
Sure. I mean, if you'd like me to do a pet reading, you could always message me a picture of your pet on Facebook. I don't know if you're on Facebook. You could do it that way so that I can see the pet. In terms of communicating with pets, I mean, what I would definitely recommend, and I do feel like you're very empathic just as I connect to your energy. I feel like you're very empathic, very intuitive. So this should be easy for you. I'm using air quotes. I mean, of course, none of it's really easy, but I feel like it would be a lot easier for you than for some other people. And the way that I do it, and I also do teaching as well and mentorship and that type of thing, so I do teach this on a regular basis, part of it is really getting into your soul center, getting to your soul self, and you can do that with meditation. You can do it with walking in the woods and grounding, just sitting quietly. I mean, you don't have to, like, chant like a monk, for 30 minutes or anything. It's not like that. It's just really sort of getting... Because some people think, oh, I can't meditate, I can't sit there. It's like, no, it doesn't even have to be like that. Like, you can just, the way that I do it just very quickly is I take a deep breath in. You can feel the sort of the air coming up to your top of the head, and then you release. And during that release, you can physically feel your body sort of drop, your head. You get sort of out of your head and drop into your body, into your heart center, which is really more of where your soul, your spiritual self sort of resides, as opposed to in your head, which is your ego and everything everyone's ever told you, and, oh, I'm not good enough to do this, and those type of thoughts. So just sort of getting into your soul center, taking that breath, release, dropping down into your body, you're going to be able to receive messages a lot quicker and easier just doing that. I mean, obviously you need to do a little bit more than that, but that's like a good start. And if you're able to meditate for a few minutes, walk outside, just sort of get out of your everyday head, right? And then you just want to start practicing. I mean, whether you have, squirrels in your backyard or cats in your house, you can just say to them, and you always want to ask permission from the animal. You don't want to just like intrude their psychic space, and you want to say, hey, I want to talk to you. Is that okay? And usually they're, pretty forthcoming. And see what they give you. I mean, it could be like a feeling. It could be a color. It could be, an image of something you don't even know what it is. But just sort of allow that, because this work cannot happen without trust, because that's what it's all about. It's about trusting what you're getting. So I would just encourage you to try that, and write down what you get, and then later on you can come back and review it and be like, oh, that was really cool. That, the animal sent me, a picture of a butterfly or something. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Laura is an angel reader and a healer,
oh, nice.
And she loves to work with people and animals. And she's making the break into mediumship because everything is coming to her. Would that be the best way for her to connect as a medium, was what you just described?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for mediumship, it's a lot of times I'll do like sitting in the power, which is sort of really sort of opening yourself up, connecting to spirit. Tony Stockwell, who is one of my mentors, I've been training with him for nonstop, I think, for the past 3 years. He's amazing. He has an audio or like a video on YouTube as well. I think it's also on Amazon Prime, called Sitting in the Power. And if it's not free, it's like a couple of bucks, and I highly recommend that. And it's really like 10 minutes. It's not, you don't have to take your whole day, and just sort of allowing yourself to connect to spirit and really being open. It's really about opening. And so, Laura, if you're working on doing that mediumship piece, it's allowing, it's opening, and it's trusting.
Right.
Okay.
That's fabulous.
And because, sometimes I have this German Shepherd, and sometimes she just looks at me so intently, and I know she's trying to tell me something, and I'm trying to get it, and I just don't know. And it's, it's frustrating sometimes. So I will work on that. And, she tries very hard, and she's very cooperative. So I will give that a try and see what we can do together.
Yeah, well, I feel sometimes, and sort of as I connect to you a little bit, I almost feel sometimes you try too hard. So it's not the kind of thing that you can beat out of somebody.
Yeah.
You can't I have to, it's kind of the opposite energy. So
it's more about an allowing, and recognizing more than trying to force it. And you're very hard, very practiced individual, Laura. So I think it's a little bit different for you, but it's more of an allowing because they're there, they're right there. And they're just waving, hi, it's anytime you're ready, we're here. So I think that since you have such a great connection, I just let it flow.
Thank you. I'm going to give that a try and see what we come up with. Thank you.
And Mari gave you some great advice. That's fabulous.
She did. I'm going to let you know how that goes.
Thank you for calling in, Laura.
Follow-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mary.
She's a
Thank
great...
you both. I appreciate you both and what you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You too. She's a great gal.
She's
been on the show. She has her own show.
Awesome.
She's Joanne Brokus, Jock Brokus' wife. He's fairly well-known, Scottish medium. They're both Scottish, and she is an angel, intuitive, and Laura studied under her. So it's a little different thing, a little different genre in a way, So she's trying to make that break into mediumship. So that was great advice. Thank you so much. I have another caller for you, Mari. It is area code 914, which is Florida, I think.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Hello.
Are you there, please?
Hi, yes. Hi. My name is Katie, and I'm from New York, actually.
Oh, yes, you're from New York. I should know that. I'm from New York. It's not Florida. It's New York. I'm sorry. How you doing, Katie?
Good. Thank you. How are both of you ladies this evening?
Fabulous. Do you have a question for Mari?
Great.
Yes, please. I was wondering, please, if you could let me know if you see Melissa or Dan giving me employment.
Okay, sure. Let me pull some cards on that.
Thank you so much.
Now, no problem. As I'm connecting to that, this is a different job than you're in now, correct, that you're looking for?
Yes, right now I'm just working on, for myself. These would be people that would be kind of partners, kind of bosses, like collaborators, you could say.
Yeah. As I connect to that piece, it feels very much I feel like that you don't give yourself enough credit. A lot of times when we do shows, it seems like there's an overarching theme of the show, and this sort of feels like this is one of them. But yeah, as I connect to this piece, I feel like in some ways that the three of you are going to be working as partners, but it almost feels like that you feel a little less than in relation to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to one of them especially, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sort of picking that up, that it's but I feel like that you have just as much value as they do in terms of this work. I mean, maybe you don't have the type of experience, or so you're looking to start a new business with them, and this is a customer service type of business?
No, it's artistic work, and yes, the man is more experienced than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I see working with the public at some point, whether you're trying to sell your items or work at clients from the public. I see there's some piece about working with the public, but I can definitely, as I connect to you in this work, I mean, I feel maybe you don't have as much experience as the other person, but that just takes time. But I feel that almost the way that you're approaching it is that you don't feel kind of worthy for this connection with them, and that just sort of gets in the way a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like the way that you're approaching it. You're well, I hope I'm good enough, and I hope I can do it. It's like I definitely see that you are, and obviously that self-confidence and everything takes time, but a lot of times it's like you have to fake it until you make it a little bit, because I feel like that you have the ability and the skills. It's just you're not really selling yourself, and it almost feels like that you're kind of allowing them to take that authority over you in a sense and sort of keep you down a little bit. But I would just encourage you to be like, no, look, I mean, I have the experience you do, but I feel like you have a lot of ideas and that you have a lot of almost like fresh and newness that you want to bring to this. And because I just feel like you can work with all different materials. I just feel like sort of a lot of excitement about the work that you would do and the work you would bring that would be different from their perspective. So I would just encourage you that, yes, it feels like it can definitely work out, but I feel part of it is you need to step into your power and feel like that you deserve it, because there's like an undeserving piece that I'm connecting with. And, and that's just from maybe inexperience or from fear. And I also feel like you're very intuitive as well. I feel like you're very connected, like psychically, so it's almost like you can read the other people that you're connecting with. And so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I said, oh, wow, yeah, no, you're right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I can feel, and somehow when you're reading them, it's almost like you are reading like their fears or their concerns about you, and then you're taking them on as yourself. And you don't need to do that. I mean, that's more like, it's like you don't need to take on their baggage. Like I don't want to say we all have enough of our own, right? But in terms of your not feeling good enough and everything, it's like you don't need to be concerned about what they're thinking about it. I feel like if you're really able to like go to the next meeting and connect with them and be like, no, I deserve this. I have, you have skills, and maybe you don't have the years of experience, but I feel like that you're very skilled and that you're very, very creative in ways that they are not. And also, again, the customer service piece is coming in. I feel like that it's easy for you to connect with others and people trust you when they're working with you. And I'm not sure if it's the same about the other two partners. So I feel I would give it definitely a big thumbs up, but it's almost in how you approach it. If you approach it from a scarcity type of way, like I don't really deserve this, then it's going to affect how they see things. If you approach it from no, I can do this, I know that I can do this, then it's going to work a lot better for you. And they're going to see that, and they're going to sort of respect you. It's almost like when you start respecting yourself, then that respect is going to come back from them. Does that make sense?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Good. Yeah, well, so I would just encourage you to just get out there and just not, don't take no for an answer and stand up for what you believe. I just sort of feel like a little bit of shrinking flower with you, shrinking violet, I guess is the term. And it doesn't need to be that way, like you have value, you have stuff to offer them, and you have a different perspective. Like I just see you coming in from a different direction, and that you're going to really bring to this business things that those other two people whose names I've already forgotten, are not going to be able to. So just stand in your power a little bit and know that you have this.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. That was amazing.
You're very welcome.
That was a great reading, Maury. Thank you, Katie, for calling in.
Oh, you are very welcome. And, yeah, keep me posted and let me know how it goes. And don't let them push you around.
Thank you so
I think that's wonderful. Maury, you have studied with some of my all-time favorite mediums, and I can kind of tell that because of your method and just the way that you speak, and, of course, your counseling background in dealing with people. You really have a beautiful way of delivering that evidence, and more than that, guidance. Not just evidence is incredibly important, but also the guidance part I think is what's really touching people tonight, and I'm sure they're elated to receive a message from you. That is really cool. I'm going to be selfish.
The way that
Go ahead.
Absolutely, and I want to get to your snuffers, but I just wanted to say that because I think obviously evidence is important, and I definitely bring evidence, but I think for me, the purpose of the work is to provide the healing. And so whatever way the healing needs to come about, obviously connecting to loved ones is good, but you want to feel the presence of your loved one. You want to feel like you're heard. So for me anyway, and everybody works differently, but I just feel like you need that healing on whatever level it is, and that's why I do the work. I mean, it's great to give evidence, but if it's not followed by any type of healing or feeling like your grandfather is in the room or any of that, then it's a little bit empty and a little mechanical, and so I really just try to steer away from that,
Yeah, beautifully put, because people do need, it's really a lot of counseling. It really is, and they just, to be seen by someone else, like that young lady there, she wasn't even aware that she didn't feel as up to par as the other two people she's trying to get a job from. So that was an excellent point that you brought out, that she really needed that shot in the arm. She really did, and don't we all? So that was beautifully put. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh,
thank
what
do you got on my? You got something on my fur babies?
Your fur babies, yeah. Well, it's funny because you sent me a couple pictures, and I know we already talked about. Is it Britty?
Yes, Britty. Yeah.
The little one, because when I work with pictures, I usually like to look at their eyes. So I see that she's in the picture with the other dog. But, when I connect to her, I just feel like she's really funny. I just feel like even though she's older, and I know she is kind of, you mentioned the senility and everything, I just feel like that she's trying to, maintain her level of youngness as much as possible. Now, I didn't say that very well. But I just feel like she's just trying to sort of maintain and be sort of as rambunctious in whatever way she can. I know mobility is an issue for her, and I just feel like it's harder for her to get around. I'm also feeling a thing with teeth in her mouth. I don't know if she's had any out recently, but she's making me aware of her mouth, and that it's a little hard for her to eat, so she had some removed, or there's been some abscesses she's making me aware of. But her personality is just so spunky, and she just, she's like, I know my body's old, I know that it's falling apart, but I'm still going to terrorize everybody. So,
she definitely is. That is her.
But in a loving kind of a way. I don't feel like there's anything malicious with her. It's almost like she's like a mischievous child,
Yeah.
And she just wants to kind of poke you with a pencil, or metaphorically speaking, it's like she just wants to kind of get your goat a little bit. And I just
it's
feel
working.
Like she's just, I'm sure. I know. I can sense your little bit of aggravation with her, but it's almost like I'm feeling like she wants to sort of maintain her youth. I mean, as I connect to her, that's the number one thing. She's she knows she's old. She knows she's kind of has a little bit of senility, and I've had animals like that, but I feel like it's frustrating her. So whenever she has those lucid moments, she's like, I'm going to do it 100-fold, So she's really bringing on the terrorizing, but just sort of making a mess or tearing things up, or I just feel like, does she disappear sometimes, and then you have to wonder where she is?
She gets lost.
Me aware of that.
Yeah,
I feel like she's
lost.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go into the other room, and then you're running around crazy looking for her. And, part of that I feel like is part of it is the, the senility piece. But I think when it starts out, she's like, I think I'm going to mess with Mom a little bit. And then she goes off, and she's trying to mess with you, and then she kind of forgets where she is, because then the older, the aging piece kicks in. So part of it is her, part of it is the aging. But I just feel like she's a real, firecracker. She's just she feels like a much bigger dog, almost like Great Dane size. Her energy is just huge, and she just, she just loves you. She just loves being around you, and it's almost like, when teenagers try to say something provocative to get their parent to freak out. That's kind of like what she does to you. She's just trying to kind of get to you and to get a reaction. But she's also talking to me about the tender moments. She really appreciates when she's being nice and she's being snuggly or cuddly with you, she appreciates those moments with you, because it's almost like she's trying to say that she's appreciated all the time that you've given her. Because I feel like that you've really kind of gone above and beyond doing medical things for her. I feel like there's been a number of procedures, and I feel like that you've, other people might have given up on her, and you haven't. And so there's a really appreciative piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a lot of care. She's got eye issues, teeth issues, food, trying to keep her contained, trying to give her time out of the pen, so she's not in there because she really rebels. She's like a little Roomba, so she crashes through the house. I still have things that aren't unpacked yet since I moved in, so she'll find a way to get lost or stuck behind the toilet or something, somewhere. She'll go in the office
yeah.
and she'll go in that bathroom. I'm looking all over the place for her, and I finally found her.
Yeah,
but anyway, that is her.
exactly.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You are welcome.
That is her to a T.
Thank you.
And
then the other one.
Uh-huh.
What's his name?
That's Marley.
Marley. Oh, he's very sweet.
Yes,
I see, that he's the larger dog, but he's very sweet. He's got a really, gentle energy about him,
Yes.
Like, it really feels like that he's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, because I think some people might be intimidated by him because of his size. But he's very gentle. I can just see even how he would take something out of your hand would be very gentle,
Yeah.
I just feel there's a real gentleness about him. Now, was he a rescue as well? Did you get him as a rescue?
Yeah, he's a rescue too.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he has cancer, which I found out right after I got him. I've only had him about 3 years. So now we did have a couple of years, but it's come back. So we're just kind of taking each day as it comes, and he's back on chemo.
Oh, wow. Well, you are a good pet parent, aren't you? Because I know, I almost deal with this on a daily basis because I do a lot of pet readings, and, good for you for giving him that extra time, because I feel like when I was mentioning the rescue piece, I feel like he has some trauma in his background. He was kind of making me aware of that. But he really loves you, and he's really appreciative of you, and he knows that you're giving him that extra time and those extra years. Because I don't think, like I mentioned before with Brittany, that a lot of pet parents wouldn't even do that. And he's making me aware of some. I don't know if it's a cup of water or a cup of coffee. He's showing me a cup that recently got spilled, and I don't know if that was something that he knocked over, that you knocked over on yourself, but he's making me aware of that. And I don't know why he's putting that into my consciousness, but that he is. Spilling of some liquid, either on you or he spilled it off the table. There's some piece about that. I'm not sure if you recognize that or not, but he is making me aware of that.
Oh, I see what he wants. He wants his cup of chicken broth. That's what he wants.
Okay.
Yes, I was giving him chicken.
It almost looks like a red Solo cup, too. He's showing me, this cup. That's what he's putting in my mind, and he's showing me this cup with some liquid in it. So, so
he thinks everything's for him, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And and for sure. But there is, a real gratitude piece with him as well that's really coming through, because I really feel that he is really grateful to you. Now, does he ever, bring you objects, bring you bones or bring you things to play with? Because he's showing me him bringing you objects, bringing a ball or bringing and I'm not sure how mobile he is still anymore, but it's almost like he wants to play in whatever way he can. I feel like he just wants that connection with you. I'm almost feeling like he feels like a lap dog, even though he's not. Like that he would climb up on your lap and sit and squash you. Yes, and he would squash you, even though he looks like he's probably pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But he's just like a little, a snuggly love bunny. It's very sad that he has cancer, but I really feel like it feels like the course of treatment, although it's not going to cure it, it feels like you're giving him more years, and that you're prolonging his life, because I just see him going, it doesn't feel like a cure, but it feels like he's just going to get more time out of it, which is what he wants. And also there's something with him about how he's trying to show you something. I feel in a lot of ways, and you know this because you do this work too, but that a lot of times the animals are mirrors for things that we need to learn about, either about ourselves or about what's going on in our life. So I feel like with him, he's really working with patience and the idea of patience with you. And I'm sure it's been very stressful to deal with him and all the issues and everything, I have no doubt. But he's just talking to me about patience and that he's trying to help you work with that. Does that resonate with you?
Oh, probably with the other one, who keeps getting stuck every 5 minutes, wears herself out and gets stuck somewhere, and it's exasperating, and he just looks at it like, she's stuck again, or he'll come and get me. Timmy's in the well kind of thing. I'm like, oh, God, where is she? So, yes, he is that's very much like both of them. Thank you, Mary. That was, Mari, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for that, because it's very touching.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running a hospice hospice over
yeah,
here.
I know. But it just feels like, it just feels like there's some soul learning piece in all this for you. I mean, there is always for all of us, right? Whenever we're dealing with issues, especially with our animals. But I just feel like they are your little teachers, as frustrating as it is. But they have your best, everything in mind. They're really trying to. I just feel like they're trying to help you.
Thank you so much. We are at the end of our hour. Mari, thank you so much.
Wow.
I know that went so fast. We are talking with Medium Mari and MediumMari.com. So please check out her website. She is so accomplished, as you've heard tonight on the radio show. Thank you for joining us on In the Psychic Flow. Until next time. Thank you, Mari. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.